A massive announcement there. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has renamed Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award to Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. The biggest sporting honour in the country will now be called Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Dhyan Chand is a hockey legend and brought a lot of accolades, including 3 Olympic gold medals. Prime Minister Modi said that he has received many requests from citizens across India to name Khel Ratna Award after Major Dhyan Chand Award. In fact, now he adds that respecting the sentiments of the people, the government has now decided to rename this award. Let me cut across to Boria Mazumdar for more details on that. Boria, what an apt moment, such a fitting time when we see hockey bring us immense pride to the country after several decades. We see the sport alive once again. At a time like this, Prime Minister has taken a decision to rename Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award now to Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Your opinion on that?
Yes, Nabila, I actually support this big time. I mean, I think it's a sports award and Major Dhyan Chand is perhaps the greatest Olympian India has produced. I know this will become a Congress versus BJP thing. I've got nothing to do with the Congress nor with the BJP. But as somebody who loves and lives Indian sport, I think it's a very, very welcome call. If you think about Major Dhyan Chand, 1928, he was a Lance Naik who had won.
All right, I'm going to try and patch Boria right there. But here's the big news that we bring to you. Khel Ratna Award now renamed after hockey legend Major Dhyan Chand, who's represented India multiple times, even at the Olympic Games. Back in the days, has brought immense glory to the country, is the most famed hockey player. At a time when we see India bringing us that glory through hockey, we see the Prime Minister has made a decision to rename Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award now to Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. He says he's got several requests for the same. On Twitter, the Prime Minister puts out that after several requests, Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award will now be renamed as Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. And he also thanks those for their views and says this is in honor of the legendary hockey player. Here we're looking at the Prime Minister who says that he's received several requests for the same. Remember, this, of course, this move was much awaited at a time when we see hockey bringing that kind of glory to the country, while we saw cricket always setting precedents, or rather all eyes on cricket more often than not. Hockey has now finally revived with our Olympic entries, both the men and the women, bringing us that kind of glory. Of course, the women lost out today, the bronze match, but nonetheless, the fact that they reached the semi-finals itself is scripting history there for the Indian women. In fact, the men have won the bronze for India after 41 years. So all eyes now and focus shifted to hockey. We see quite a gripping match that the men played. At a time like this, a move like this is certainly welcome. Prime Minister Modi himself announces this decision, says that Major Dhyan Chand, such a legendary player, now Khel Ratna Award will be named after him. It no more will be Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, which was named after a politician, of course, for decades now. While Khel Ratna itself is an honor for sporting legends in the country, why should it be called Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award? It should aptly be after a sports person, a sports personality. And today, we see hockey as the flavor of the country today, flavor of the season. And the country rejoicing our hockey players. At a time like this, Major Dhyan Chand really comes as such a fitting person to be renaming this very honorable award after. Major, here we have Boria Mazumdar for more on that. Boria, Major Dhyan Chand, a man who's really brought the spotlight on hockey in India. He's won many medals in the country, and we shouldn't forget that hockey is our national sport. He brought that kind of glory for India decades ago, and today we see after 41 years our men's team coming back with that form and that finesse.
Yeah, Nabila, absolutely. You know, let me first tell you, I'm very happy with this. I welcome this move because it's a sporty award. It's a sporting award, and it should be for the great. It should be named after the greatest hockey legend that India, rather greatest sporting legend that India has produced. So I'm pretty delighted. I'm delighted. I know this will become a Congress versus BJP slanging match. I've got nothing to do with either political party. All I will say is, as a sports person, somebody who lives and breathes sport, I'm thrilled. Number two, you asked about Dhyan Chand. Let me give you a story. We are talking about these underprivileged backgrounds, girls coming from underprivileged backgrounds, men coming from underprivileged backgrounds. 1928, when Major Dhyan Chand went to the Amsterdam Olympics, he had one pair of trousers. One. When Jaipal Singh, who was the captain, met him at the Tilbury Dock in London, took him to the Austin Reed store to buy him a trouser. He said, "Can I take this out in the sun and see the color?" People laughed at him. The very same man, the next day, in the next few months, when he was put on the hockey field, 13 out of the 29 Indian goals, not one conceded. The result, India's first ever gold medal. That's Major Dhyan Chand for you. 1932 LA, second goal. 36 captain, beating the German team in front of Hitler, 8-1 in the final. That's Major Dhyan Chand for you. Unbelievable player. Wizard, we all know, the greatest. So it is only fair that the Khel Ratna is named after him. But I'd also go a step forward. I'll say, give him the Bharat Ratna. Yes, it's much later, posthumous. All of it is fine. Give it to him and redeem yourself, because no one deserves it more.
Boria, in fact, he is regarded as one of the most exemplary sporting personality in the country that we've ever seen. In India, Major Dhyan Chand has really set examples for all those budding sports persons over the years. In fact, our men's hockey team itself this time around have really looked up to the kind of extraordinary goal-scoring feats that he's achieved in the past. He's won 3 Olympic medals, and today we hear the Prime Minister say that Khel Ratna Award will be renamed after Major Dhyan Chand. So apt, so timely, and this was what was needed for years, and it's come now finally, Prime Minister Modi initiating it. Paulami, take us through the sentiments there. Any word from the opposition? It's no more called Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award. The politician's name will be now removed. A sports person, a legendary one, that who's really brought fame to the game of hockey for India, 3 Olympic medal holder, Major Dhyan Chand, will now be honoured through this renaming of the Khel Ratna. Any word from the opposition so far on that?
Well, we haven't heard from the opposition. I don't think so there'll be anyone who will in fact dispute the fact that, the highest sporting honour of the country should be named after one of the biggest sporting legends that this country has produced. It would be a surprise if anyone had any sort of opposition to this decision, which has been taken by the government to, in fact, name the Khel Ratna Award, rename the Khel Ratna Award, and call it the Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. It is only a fitting tribute to the man who brought so much glory to this country, possibly one of the biggest, and I'm talking across sports. Field hockey was completely honoured by the presence of Major Dhyan Chand representing India on the field, 3 Olympic gold medalists, and today our men's team have in fact ended that 41-year-old drought as far as hockey and medals go at the Olympics, and are bringing home the bronze medal. Our women's hockey team have brought us such glory as well. Clearly, it is only a fitting tribute that the highest sporting honour in the country is named after one of the biggest sports persons that this country has produced. He continues to be a legend and inspiration for not just those who aspire to play hockey, but across sports as far as India is concerned, because of the way Boria was saying. We keep talking about, the backgrounds that all of these men and women come from, some very underprivileged backgrounds, obscure backgrounds, starting out from humble beginnings, but making it to such a glory, to the top of such glory. Major Dhyan Chand is a shining example of that. Nothing could hold back the man when he brought us that kind of glory. And today, hockey again is in the spotlight thanks to the legends like him, who of course brought us such glory and continue to inspire sports persons who continue to take to the game. And today they have succeeded in bringing us the bronze medal and so much more glory.
Thank you very much, Paulami. Do stay with us. We have some big news coming in. Of course, many BJP leaders now backing this move. BJP MP Gautam Gambhir, while he backs the centre's decision to rename Khel Ratna Award, calls for Bharat Ratna for the hockey icon. Here, Gautam Gambhir backs the centre's move to rename Khel Ratna Award to Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Now, he also bats for a Bharat Ratna there for the hockey icon. Remember, Major Dhyan Chand has brought immense glory to India. He's a three-time Olympic gold medalist, known for his exemplary show or extraordinary goal-taking, scoring feats that he's achieved for India, where all our hockey players today literally look up to the man, his feat that he's achieved in the past, the way he managed to strike a goal 3 times over. And now we hear the Prime Minister make a formal announcement. He puts out on Twitter that Khel Ratna Award will now be renamed from Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award to Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Here you have BJP MP, meanwhile, Gautam Gambhir batting for Bharat Ratna for Dhyan Chand. Paulmi, you heard that? Bharat Ratna for Dhyan Chand. Take us through what Gautam Gambhir has to say on that.
Well, Gautam Gambhir, of course, a cricketing icon himself, now coming forward and saying that the highest honor, civilian honor that the country accords on anyone should be given to, of course, posthumously to Major Dhyan Chand. Clearly, a huge sort of moment there, and of course, a big ask from Gautam Gambhir, which is an absolutely legitimate ask, given the kind of glory that Major Dhyan Chand has brought to the country and continues to bring. He is an icon. As far as the sport of hockey is concerned, he is one of the legendary players who is in fact cited by everyone who watches the game, takes interest in the game of hockey across the international arena. All players of hockey, they will talk about Major Dhyan Chand, and like you said, about his goal scoring.
Right. Paulmi, we're going to try and patch you back again. We're having some difficulties. All right, here's the big news that we bring to you. Khel Ratna Award now renamed as Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Rajiv Gandhi's name has been axed from the highest sporting honor, and now you have Major Dhyan Chand that the award will be now named after the legendary hockey player. Boria with more on that. Boria, we know for a fact that Major Dhyan Chand was a celebrated sporting personality, but so far no Bharat Ratna for him. You have BJP MP Gautam Gambhir now, while he of course backs this move, batting for a Bharat Ratna for Major Dhyan Chand.
Yeah, I said that to you when you and I just spoke 5 minutes back. I mean, this should have been done years earlier. I mean, there is no reason why sporting icons weren't given the Bharat Ratna. I found it bizarre because sport is a microcosm of life. Why should Major Dhyan Chand not get a Bharat Ratna? What has he done less compared to anybody who's got it? He won you a gold medal in 1928, 32, 36 when he was still a colony. He was making India's presence at the world stage, one of the greatest ever. Like I told you, in front of Hitler, to bring India glory in 1936 at the Berlin Games. It was one of the most difficult asks, and he was the captain. Winning that as the captain, that hockey gold in 1936, will always be one of India's greatest achievements. And thereafter also, if you see his contribution, of course he deserves the Bharat Ratna. Make no mistake, he deserves the Bharat Ratna. The fact that the Khel Ratna has been named after him, the Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna, I'm delighted at it. And as I said, I've got nothing to do with party politics. As somebody who loves sport, I think it's a very good call. It's a very, very good call. I've researched a hell of a lot on Major Dhyan Chand. If you really go and check his background, if you see what that man has gone through, what he had to go through to bring laurels to the country, you will see every sporting story of today resonating in him. He's the real inspiration. Like I told you in 1928, 1932. Do you know the team did not have money? They pooled money together from crowdfunding. That's when they were able to go to the LA Games. Do you know they played exhibition matches all over so as to get money to come back to India under the leadership of Major Dhyan Chand? That's what he has gone through. So why will you not celebrate him? Our country, unfortunately, has not celebrated its sporting icons enough. So I'm thrilled. I'm very pleased that this is being done.
Well, Boria, interestingly, I read somewhere that his nickname was the Wizard.
Yes, absolutely, it is. I mean, I'll tell you another story. 1932, Douglas Jardine, the famous English cricket captain, who was, bodyline fame, the Indian team was coming back from Los Angeles, and they were coming through England. Douglas Jardine got a whiff that Major Dhyan Chand was in town. He turned his car, went to click a photograph with Major Dhyan Chand. That's the real story. Douglas Jardine went to click a photograph with Major Dhyan Chand when the boat docked in India. I mean, unbelievable. This man, and Ptolemy was saying one of the biggest, not one of the biggest, the greatest ever Olympian that India has produced, or perhaps one of the greatest that the world has seen, is Major Dhyan Chand. So we have to honor him. Unfortunately, we haven't. Better late than never.
Well, I think all years now, of course, the Prime Minister has made the first move. He's now renamed Khel Ratna Award as Major Dhyan Chand Award. Rajiv Gandhi's name has been axed from this top sporting honour. It will now be renamed as Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. I'm going to slip into a short break. There'll be more on that. News and updates on the other side. Stay tuned. All right, here's the big news that we bring to you. Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award now renamed to Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. This was an official announcement made by Prime Minister Modi on Twitter in honor of the hockey, which is, of course, the game, the national sport. Now I'm going to cut across to Akshita to give us a glimpse into what this renaming really means to the country today.
So the Prime Minister giving in to public demand, and here's why this renaming really works. It's a tribute to India's greatest hockey player, announced by the Prime Minister at a time when we're celebrating the sport. It also honours finally the legacy of a hockey legend, very often debated that his legacy simply hasn't been spoken about or recognised enough. It's also fitting that the sporting award has been named rightfully after a sporting hero and not after a politician, something that time and again people have pointed out. Purging Netagiri culture in sports. The BJP has spoken about this before, and now it looks like they've decided to also take this monumental step of the biggest sporting award being named after a sporting hero. It's also led to, of course, that chorus that's been there for quite some time to give the Bharat Ratna to Major Dhyan Chand. It's not happened till now. Remains to be seen if it will happen in the near future. But this perhaps gives impetus to this movement also, a demand to give the Bharat Ratna to Major Dhyan Chand.
All right, there you have it. All the reasons to why this was inevitable. Finally, we see the Khel Ratna Award that's now been renamed to Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Here's some big breaking news coming in. Shiv Sena MP Arvind Sawant opposes the renaming of the award, raises questions over the timing to change the name of Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award to Dhyan Chand Ratna Award. Shiv Sena MP there, Arvind Sawant, raises opposition against the naming of this Khel Ratna Award to Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. The Congress ally and Sena MP questions the timing of the government's decision. Remember, the Prime Minister himself, he's put out a Twitter message, a post where he says, after multiple requests, the Khel Ratna Award will now be renamed to Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Let me quickly cut across to Himanshu, who's had a word with him. Let's cut across.
अरविंद जी, आज राजीव गांधी खेल रत्न अवार्ड को प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने मेजर ध्यानचंद, जो पूर्व हॉकी कैप्टन रहे हैं, उनके नाम पे कर दिया है। जिस तरीके से भारतीय पुरुष टीम ने ब्रॉन्ज मेडल जीता ओलंपिक में और महिला टीम सेमीफाइनल तक पहुंची, उन्होंने कहा कि लोगों की भावनाएं जो हैं वो बहुत आज खुश थी। इसीलिए
लोगों की भावना अलग ही लिए खुश है, क्योंकि देश के प्रतिनिधित्व करने वाले खिलाड़ियों को पदक मिला, वो भी ओलंपिक। नाम बदलना ये कोई अभिमान की बात नहीं है। राजीव गांधी कोई कांग्रेस पार्टी के नहीं, वो देश के प्रधानमंत्री है। और देश के पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री के नाम से अगर कोई पुरस्कार दिया जाता है, ध्यानचंद जी की और उनकी प्रधानमंत्री की तुलना होगी क्या? कल को हमारे महाराष्ट्र में कोई कबड्डी का बहुत बड़ा प्लेयर होगा या कोई कुछ खाशाबा थे जो कुछ रेसलिंग थे, उसको उनको भी अवार्ड में आता, तो खाशाबा का नाम दे दो। तो ये सही नहीं होता। सही है कि आप उनके नाम से कोई और अन्य पुरस्कार दे दो। स्पेशलाइजेशन के पुरस्कार देने चाहिए थे, चलते थे ध्यानचंद जी के नाम।
आपको लगता है कि मेजर ध्यानचंद
नाम रद्द करना ये किसी भी सरकार के लिए अभिमान की बात नहीं हो सकती।
मेजर ध्यानचंद को भारत रत्न अवार्ड मिलना चाहिए।
अभी तो उन्होंने ये कर दिया तो भारत रत्न देना चाहिए। तो यही तो दुर्भाग्य है ना कि हम क्या सोच के कर रहे हैं कि हर जगह राजनीति कर रही है। और रिवेंजफुल एक्शन लगते हैं, अच्छा नहीं लगता, छोटे हो जाते हैं हम।